Before we dive into today's episode, I wanted to share with you my new favorite virtual vision board. You know that I love all things affirmations, visualization, and meditation, and we talk about these topics often on the podcast. So when I came across the Perfectly Happy Vision Board app, I was really excited to try it out. What I love most about it is that it's a convenient and powerful way to visualize your dream life, become clearer in what you want to achieve, and it helps you stay focused and motivated. I also love that you can set multiple daily reminders to take a mindfulness break and help you visualize your dreams, which, as you know, helps you build a resilient mindset. What you do is you download the app and you go through the steps to create your own vision board, where you can add in photos and music and affirmations to each area of your life that you're trying to manifest in. The best part is that all of the things that you need are already in the app. The combination of sound and photo and affirmations makes your vision board more vivid and ultimately easier to manifest. What I also love is that you can write unlimited daily gratitude journal entries to help you reflect on your day and really build that gratitude muscle. I can honestly say that all of the things that I put on my own vision board have happened, and it was so wild to see it all come to life. It only takes 3 minutes per day, and I really think that we all have 3 minutes. Start your free trial of the Perfectly Happy app by clicking on the link in the show notes. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Hi there, welcome back to the Happiness Happens podcast. This is the last episode of 2021, and I cannot believe that we've made it through another entire year of podcasting. I'm so excited for what is to come, but I'm also so grateful for everything that has happened over the last year. All of the amazing conversations that we've had, all of the amazing guests that we've brought onto the show, everything that we've learned. I could not have been here without all of you, and I'm so grateful to have you here today, that you're listening in, and that we're on this journey together. I have so much amazing stuff planned for 2022. We're taking the show in a completely different way, completely different angle. We are talking about happiness in 2022. I'm interviewing experts in their field, and we're understanding happiness and how it relates to their fields, to who they are as people, and how they've seen happiness manifest in their own lives. So I'm super excited about all that's to come. But first, before we dive into any of that in the new year, I wanted to talk about 3 things that I've learned in my first year of business and what's happening in 2022. Now, what a ride this last year has been. I cannot believe it. It actually blows my mind to see all of the transformation and the journey that I've taken, but also my clients, my friends, my community, my loved ones, my family, my husband, my dog, like everyone. I'm so grateful for all that's happened, good and bad. There have been a lot of ups and a lot of downs. So I started this year off by leaving my corporate job, and I'm ending the year by rolling into a 6-figure year in my first year of business, and I'm super excited about that. But I'm heading into an even more exciting 2022. I'm really excited for all that's to come. I have plans of launching a membership for podcasters, a course to help you all tap into your own creative podcast journey, and so much more that I cannot wait to share with you, and I will when it's ready to. This year was a wild ride. I got married, bought a house, got a dog, had a surprise 30th birthday party surrounded by all of my friends and my family, had get-togethers, got to spend the holidays with my family, got to go down to the States to visit my family that I haven't seen since 2019. Lots of healing took place, lots of growth, learning, unlearning, rebuilding, new stories. And this is truly what life is about. This is truly, in my opinion, the purpose of living, is to have all of these moments, experiences, and incredible opportunities and grow in them, bask in them, expand in them, right? On that note, want to leave you with 3 things that I've learned in my first year of solid, full-time entrepreneurship. And whether you're an entrepreneur or not, these things can be very helpful for you as you're navigating your career, a job, relationships, family, any of it. The first tip that I have for you today is the only thing that you can truly rely on is your own self-trust and change. Those are the things that you can rely on that will constantly show up in your life every single day. Self-trust is so important when it comes to business. You need to be able to rely on yourself to make those decisions that are really important. And sometimes you have to make them under pressure and really quickly, right? People are expecting you to deliver on what you're saying you're going to deliver on, right? So it's really important to have that sound and solid self-trust and belief system within you to know that you are always doing the best you can in every single moment. Now, on the flip side of that, change is also a constant, and it's always something that you know will come and go in our lives all the time. When you know this and when you expect this and can anticipate this, you actually create space for even more beautiful things to come into your life every single day. You allow more joy, you allow more change, you allow more opportunity to flow in because you're not so fixated on what it is that you want and how it's supposed to be, right? You allow it to be fluid, you allow it to be expansive, and you allow it to change your life and change your business, change your journey in the most beautiful way. How you're expecting something to go will never go as expected anyways. So the faster that you can just accept that change is something that is constant and always evolving and is always there, the faster that you can adapt and that you can just continue on your journey, this beautiful journey, in the most perfect way for you. The second one, this one, let me tell you, okay? Not every client is meant for you. I am going to be so candid with you. I had this year an absolutely awful client breakup, and it was so triggering and so traumatic that it actually shook me to my core. I didn't know that people could be like that. I didn't know that these things actually happened. I only ever work with people that I feel soulfully aligned with. And when I started working with this person in particular, I just kind of knew that there was something. I knew that there was a little red flag there. And I had this feeling in my gut that maybe this isn't the right person to be working with, but I ignored it. So let me just tell you, never ignore your intuition because it will always guide you in where you need to be. Now, do I wish that it ended that way, the way that it did? No, absolutely not. I wish that it definitely ended differently. And I wish I ended it sooner, to be honest with you. I wish that I had that inner integrity to know that I deserved better and that I didn't want to spend my life stressed every single day about things that didn't even matter. So sometimes you really need to think about what is best for you. And now I still think about, to this day, how I could have done something differently, how I could have turned it around, how I could have X, Y, and Z. But sometimes you just need to accept that people are the way they are and that nothing that you say or do will ever be able to change that, right? Nothing will ever be able to change their minds because so many people are so set in their own belief system and they actually can't see another perspective, which is why I think the topics of this podcast are so important because it's actually bringing to light different perspectives and allowing you to be, develop that tolerance towards other people who may have a different opinion than you. And I think that that's so important. So anyways, all to go back to the fact that not every client is meant for you. To know and trust and listen to your intuition when it's telling you to do something different is so, so, so important. As long as you're in your own integrity every single day, always showing up as your very best self in however you can and however that looks like for you every day, and putting your best foot forward, you're literally doing the best that you can. That will always translate and that will always grow within you and grow your business and grow your life and grow just the relationships that you have with people, right? And also, knowing that other people are also doing the best that they can in every single moment too, whether you agree or not, right? Whether it's a hard moment or not, just knowing that people truly are doing the best that they can in every single moment with what they have. And so when you can accept that and when you can know that, then things start to transform for you rapidly. And my last point here, and the last thing that I want to share with you in this week's episode, is that you know that you can do so much more than you give yourself credit for. Every problem that you have, every challenge that you faced, you have a solution for. You have gone through some of the hardest and most challenging moments of your life, and you made it to the other side. I really want you to remember this one going into 2022 because it's super important that you know that every single moment you've gone through has prepared you for where you're headed. And I think it's so important to just know that even in the hardest moments, you transformed through it, you grew through it, and you learned from it, and you took those experiences and made them into something even greater. So you are resilient. You know how to run your shit. And do not ever forget that because it is so important in those moments of self-doubt. We spoke about self-doubt a couple weeks ago on the podcast, and it was such an important conversation that I really think you should link back to if you can, because it will provide you a lot of tips in building that resilience and that inner trust, inner wisdom as you head into the new year. Now, I also want to highlight how important it is to surround yourself with people that lift you up and that want to see you win and that are excited for you on a daily basis. You want to keep those people close, but you also want to be one of those people to your friends, to your loved ones, and to those you surround yourself with. It's amazing to feel that from other people, but you also want to be able to give that back to other people too, so that they can know that you are there for them in every sense of the word and however they need in that moment. When you doubt yourself, remind yourself how far you've come. You don't need other people to validate that for you. You need to build that within yourself, and that inner growth will spark your entire journey all the time. You want to be able to invest in your own self, and you want to be able to make decisions that align with you and that align with your vision every single day. I have learned so much about business. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about the journey and purpose in this last year. And I think that it's so important to take inventory of all the stuff that you've learned and how are you going to take that and incorporate it into your new year. But mostly, I want you to think about what your vision is for the new year, right? When you dream about your life, when you really think about what it is that you want out of your life, what are those specific things that come to mind? How do you want to live your life every single day? How do you want to feel? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up, right? Like, how is it that you want to live your life in your integrity every single day? It doesn't have to be lavish things. It really doesn't. But you just need to know that what you're doing and where you're at is more than enough, but you also need to know where you're headed and where you want to go and how you want to grow. I'm going to keep this episode short and sweet as we close off 2021 and head into 2022. I'm wishing you an amazing new year ahead. Thank you so much for joining me this year on the podcast, and I cannot wait to dive into all the conversations we're about to have starting next week with a solo episode, but then some really, really, really incredible guests. So I will see you again in 2022 with a really epic episode about why setting intentions are more effective than setting goals. See you on the next episode. Remember that happiness happens when you're least expecting it. Well, it looks like we've made it to the end